Good morning, day 109. The sun has risen. Y'all, I have to tell you, like, God is so good. He delivers the right message right on time. Oh, man, look at that. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful and bright and clear. It wasn't so clear yesterday, but that's okay. We got lots of geese out this morning, talking and making some noise. I almost overslept this morning. I have been not getting great sleep, and I've had to even take a couple of naps to get by. Good morning. And last night, so that cycle, it's not a good one. It's not one I like to be in, but you got to do what you got to do. And it kind of caught up with me last night, and I woke up this morning and I was like, oh no. And I almost was tempted to just get dressed and go straight out and just start like, well, you just got to think about something to talk about and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, that is not the point of this, girl. Like, yes, we want to be out there for the sunrise, but the point is that you're getting into the Word, you're meditating, you're really thinking. Like, you got to do, like, don't shortcut the process. Don't be tempted to miss the point of it. These sunrise walks are not about the sun rising. It's about you getting your butt up and going. But there's a few things that have got to happen first, even if I oversleep. And I know that because I've traveled, while I've been doing this and had to work around, the odd, but I kind of knew that, like, okay, this is going to be an off day because of this. But this was the first time on my own that I've just overslept. I don't set an alarm. Do y'all know that? I don't set an alarm because I go to bed early and I wake up, like, I know exactly how many hours of sleep my body needs. Yeah, but when that cycle gets thrown off, so it is no wonder. Anyway, the whole point is, I titled today, Decision Fatigue. And Psalm 141, this is something I'm kind of dealing with personally. And Psalm 141 starts off with David doing an evening prayer, which it usually doesn't talk about the timing of his prayers. So this must have been a special type of, like a Hail Mary at night, like, oh my gosh, save me. And it doesn't say really nighttime either. It says evening. So it made me think of something in the world of neuroscience that we refer to as decision fatigue. Have you ever noticed that you're one person in the morning, you're rising and shining? Y'all wouldn't recognize me at 5 p.m. Sometimes I can be grumpy and irritated. Like, you're a different person. I bet you're like that too. And you're thinking, maybe it's just you. No, it's pretty much every human. Unless you've really built up some habits well enough and consistently enough that you can stay pretty consistent. But it is just a part of the human condition. When our minds are bright and clear in the morning and our energy level is different because we've just gotten a bunch of sleep, then we are like, we are getting things done. We know what we're going to do that day. And by the time 4, 5, 6 o'clock rolls around, you're just like, oh, get me out of here. Hit the eject button. And the kids are coming at you, or your boss, and with a last minute request, or a client, like whatever. And you're just like, no. Or you're dieting. And this especially, we talk about this so much because especially when you're trying to make a healthy change and like maybe change the way you're eating, maybe you're cutting out alcohol for a time when it's something you're used to. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. That means it's time to pop open a beer and relax. We have those little rituals and habits. And if you aren't prepared when that version of you rolls around that is tapped out, tired, you're going to get sideswiped. And all the good intentions, all the willpower, like it all just goes out the window. You're just like, I don't care. Macaroni looks great. Yes, I'll have some of that. Or the beer, whatever. So, or, maybe it's a workout routine. You've committed to a workout routine or, whatever it is. Y'all have all, I'm sure, been there, done that. I doubt we have any perfect people watching this. So David throws up this kind of evening Hail Mary prayer, like, please control my mouth. He says, control my mouth. Don't let any words come out of it. Don't let me be tempted, and this is me paraphrasing, by the delicacies that may come from wickedness. So you can tell he's like straddling that fence of like, oh, but it looks so good. Oh, is it really bad? Like you can probably tell that's happening up there. Like, I'm pretty, it probably is bad, but, he was probably dealing with decision fatigue. Can you imagine even being a king and all being on the run? And anyway, so he also says, and let me, if correction comes my way from somebody, let me recognize it and see it and feel it as good medicine. I'm like, well, medicine, probably like we understand it too, doesn't always taste good. We're not always like, yes, can I have some more medicine? Well, we might be like that, but it's kind of like, the spoonful of sugar thing. Like, it doesn't always taste good. We don't always like taking it. Sometimes there's side effects. So I think even that reference there was intentional. He didn't he's a musician. He could have easily said, may it be like music to my ears. That would just be pleasant. No, he used a comparison to medicine. And that's what we've even got to do to ourselves when we're in that transformation journey. It's like we've got to ride that wave of and surf the urge of cravings. And we've got to lean into maybe people that hold us accountable, coaches or other people that are going. You got to kind of connect yourself with people that are trying to do the same hard thing that you're doing. Because if you try to do it alone, this is one of those things that will just take you out. And then if you're alone, you tend to isolate yourself and talk negatively and oh, I just can't do it. All the talk that we do. And we think we're the only one because we look out there and we maybe see success stories and we're just seeing the success. We're not seeing the struggle. And we're thinking, well, they just must have done it perfectly because now they've got these results. So that's why, I even share, I'm trying to be as real as possible and share the struggle part of it. The struggle is real. And other real people need to see that. And because it encourages them. It's like, oh, I'm not alone. Oh, they had a hard time doing that too. Oh, and here's how you deal with hard things. And know that they're coming. And also that it's just something that everybody deals with. This is the way the human brain works. We think 60, they're trying to quantify it, 60 to 90,000 thoughts a day. Yeah, doesn't it sound exhausting? And then add on top of that, if you work and you have a family and have other people maybe relying on you, that's probably, you've got other people coming to you for decisions. It's no wonder we have got to, so we talk about in the transformation world kind of pre-planning, pre-deciding, commitment is big, having a plan, also being prepared for those moments. But I love that David shows us here, even if you do all those things, or maybe if you forget but none of it is working. We've always got prayer. We've always got we can get our mind focused. Okay, you can always take a time out and throw up a Hail Mary prayer. And God will come through, because even that in and of itself redirects our mind back to our own commitment and what we're about. So even if, and we don't find out in this psalm exactly what David's praying about, and if God actually delivered somebody that came in and helped correct him, the correction in and of itself may be the prayer. That he was getting his mind back and reminding himself, oh yeah, I'm trying to be on a path here. I think I'm falling into temptation. It goes on to even use words like traps and snares. You can't always see those things. A trap is a trap for a reason. So, but he's on the lookout. He's got his mind like more directed. He's not letting it slide too far down that, the decision thing. He's acknowledging it. It's one thing I've really appreciated about going this slowly through the Psalms and getting to know David, but also really him role modeling the importance of journaling, prayer, meditating, like getting it out, being vulnerable with your struggles. It's in the Christian world and in our world of social media that we have to live with today. It's like we've got to put on perfection all the time and only show good things on Facebook and only show the good side. And that's natural for humans to want to do that. But it's not always that helpful. It's a balance, just like we talked about yesterday too. If you're too negative and only about the struggle and not about struggle, renewing, hope, moving in the right direction, that's not helpful either. So it's like it's struggle with a purpose. Like I struggled, I fell down this pit once, but then I learned that I could build a bridge. Now let me show you how to maybe go over the bridgeway instead of falling into the pit. And that's part of, the interconnectedness of humans and how we can really rely on, that's a big word, rely on and seek help too. We want to reach back and help people, but that person also has to be willing to receive it. You have to be willing to receive it, which transformation, true lasting transformation, often involves the willingness to be not only honest with yourself, but vulnerable with other people, because they can't help you if they don't know, if you don't show that struggle. Even if it's in front of your kids. I'm probably going on a little bit too much now, but that decision fatigue, just getting back to that, it's a real thing. And so if you find yourself in that daily struggle of feeling like a split personality, you're not alone, like we all do. And your morning, that's why for me, a morning routine is so critical. I've got to set my evening self up for success the best way I can by getting good rest, by journaling, by praying, by thinking ahead. If I am on a special eating plan or exercise plan or whatever, I've got to plan for it and prepare, and maybe even tell other people that will be lovingly hold me accountable and help me with what I said I wanted, even though I don't feel like it in that moment. Because willpower will only get you so far. And some of us that are stronger in willpower maybe really can power through for, you see all these 30-day challenges out there. Like they'll get that, but then they'll collapse and go right back to the way they were. That used to be me. Oh, I could do that and then I would call it success. That's not how I define success anymore. I'm going to be like the turtle instead of the hare, because I want to when I get there, wherever I determine there is because I want to stay there. I want to go to that land and live. I'm not looking to just visit, whether it's a number on the scale or how I feel. Like, I'm talking about changing who I fundamentally is, so it's not hard anymore. That's the other thing. The decision fatigue, when you're going through the change process, only lasts for a while. Eventually, your mind and your brain catch on, and they're like, oh, this is just what we do now. And then it's not hard anymore. So there's also that. So it's only hard for a while. So if you can get support, accountability, I believe prayer should be part of that too. And get some good things in place, especially, I think, in the morning. But even if not, if you've got an evening routine, we're not all morning people, but I would assume people that are watching me are. It's just so critical. Like y'all heard me talk about yesterday, even just getting off of my gratitude practice. Slipped right back into grumpiness. But so all of these things add up and they matter. And when you take more time in the planning and pre-deciding and preparing phases, and because sometimes our decision fatigue will tell us, we don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. Too busy. We don't have time for that. Well, I'm going to tell you, you don't have time not to. You don't have time not to. If you really want to make this change. So if you find yourself in that even excuse cycle, then you got to really go back and examine, do you really want this or do you think you want it? Because real change takes real work, and you've got to really put the work into supporting yourself and understanding the way that your brain works and knowing what to do, and even pre-deciding, decision fatigue is here. It's time to have a snack, say a little prayer, maybe go have a hot shower. Maybe David didn't have access to all of those things, but I imagine he did some other things besides just pray to get his mind and his heart back in alignment with himself, and his values, even when surrounded by temptation. All right, have a great day. We made it. And I do feel refreshed. I think I've caught up on sleep, so maybe I was able to get back on the right side of that equation. All right, bye.